This photograph of Marcy Borders came to symbolize the collective trauma New Yorkers experienced on September 11, 2001. She was nicknamed the Dust Lady. She died 2 weeks ago of stomach cancer at the age of 42. Photographer Stan Honda, who took the picture, encountered Ms. Borders in the building next to the World Trade Center after it collapsed.
This woman walks in and completely covered in dust. You really couldn't see any features or tell what kind of clothes she had on, anything like that. It was a very eerie sight, and I had only enough time to take one picture of her, one frame.
Susan Herr barely escaped the disaster. She was working in a bank on the 68th floor of Tower 2. She remembers the moment the first plane struck.
I got in an elevator that wasn't supposed to be working and took it down to the lobby. There, I tried to get out onto the plaza, but they had blocked it off, and I found out later it was because the people were jumping out of Tower 1. I went to get out onto Greenwich, and a policewoman told me, "Don't look down, just run."
As Susan Herr ran, she nearly tripped on body parts. She's still haunted by the memory. This is the first time she's found the strength to return to this spot. It took tremendous effort. Since the 9/11 attacks, she has suffered from post-traumatic stress and asthma. She's also a cancer survivor. Without public assistance, she would never have been able to pay her medical bills. But the $2.8 billion fund supported by the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act, named after one of the first responders, is set to run out at the end of the year.
It's very important to me and to the fellow survivors of 9/11. The aid that we get from the Zagara bill helps us pay our medical bills and also networks us with a whole bunch of doctors that are familiar with the 9/11 illnesses, both physical and emotional and mentally.
One of the specialists who's treated many 9/11 survivors is Dr. Michael Crane. He's concerned about what might happen if the aid program is terminated.
The interruption of that care, while no physician, to my knowledge, would abandon a patient, would eventually lead to a disruption of the services at a very critical moment. And it could be, yes, it could be a tremendous setback for many of our patients who are being treated for these critical diseases.
That's a view shared by Margaret Chin, a Democratic representative of the New York City Council. She fears that Congress, in a cost-cutting measure, could slash funding, handing responsibility to New York.
We just want Congress to know this is not a New York issue. This is a national issue because the people that came to help to do the rescue effort, they came from almost every single state in the United States.
Susan Herr will be dependent on public health assistance for years to come. If Congress ends the funding, she and thousands of other New Yorkers will be left in the lurch.